Oh, grab your popcorn and get ready for the cinematic masterpiece that unfolds in this movie. It all kicks off with a child psychiatrist trying to get some secrets out from a girl named Surin. But hold on, it gets better. The doc pulls out a camera like it's a magic trick and decides to record the interview. Because, every therapy session needs its own blockbuster film. So, Surin, who's as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, is asked to spill the beans on her life story. And boy, does she have a tale to tell. Her mom hitched up with a dude named Do-kyun, and faster than you can say, plot twist, mama kicks the bucket. Surin's been stuck with Do-kyun ever since, and they have to relocate to a ruler island called Hwano. A ruler island? I guess it's where rulers go for vacation or something. Post-mom's demise, Surin's happiness decides to take a permanent vacation too. She's not a chatty Cathy and can't stand her stepdad. Cue the violins. She's enrolled in a new school on the island where making friends is as easy as stealing candy from a baby. But oh no, Surin prefers to be the lone wolf, howling her way through teenage angst. Meanwhile, Do-kyun is playing chief at a tunnel construction site, working the night shift. Explosions are happening left and right, and the island folks are banned from joining the construction area party. Now, Surin, our little rebel, stumbles upon her blog comments about wormholes. Yes, wormholes. Because when your mom dies, naturally, you'd turn to interdimensional travel for comfort. She's all about supernatural beings and probably chats with Casper on the school computer. Oops, did I mention she leaves her computer wide open for her classmates to roast her? Classic move, Surin. Enter Sungmin, the boy from the orphanage who's as persistent as a mosquito on a summer night. He tries to befriend Surin, but she treats him like he's handing out free broccoli. Sungmin spills the beans about having a backstage pass to another dimension thanks to Surin's blog. Wow, must be a really happening dimension. Against all odds, these two oddballs become friends. Surin even invents her own secret alphabet to communicate with Sungmin, probably spelling out supernatural BFFs forever. They embark on daily ghost hunts, like the Scooby-Doo gang with a sprinkle of teenage love drama. Things get real spicy when they find an abandoned wooden house in the forest. They carve wax blocks and talk like they're in an episode of a paranormal soap opera. Surin, in a move worthy of a rom-com, plants a smooch on Sungmin, leaving him more flustered than a turkey on Thanksgiving. But wait, there's more. Surin discovers Sungmin and his crew planning a daring adventure to the forbidden construction site to watch some explosions. The gang of misfits sneaks through the woods, probably thinking they're in a teen rebellion movie. Surprise, surprise. No explosions. Talk about anticlimactic. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, they stumble upon a tiny cave in the jungle. What's in there, you ask? Buckle up, folks. We're diving deeper into the mysterious world of glowing eggs, time goblins, and a bunch of kids who clearly skipped their science classes. It's like Harry Potter meets the Twilight Zone, but with more confusing plot twists. So, our brave explorers decide to venture into a cave, because who needs common sense when there's an ominous-looking hole in the ground? They march in one by one, probably expecting to find Narnia or at least a snack bar. But no, they stumble upon a glowing substance submerged in water. Surin, our resident genius, declares it's a meteoroid. I mean, who needs a degree in astrophysics when you've got Surin's deductive skills? Now, Sungmin, the designated water superhero, takes it upon himself to dive into the water and fetch the glowing thingamajig. But oh, the moment it sees the light of day, it stops glowing. Maybe it's solar-powered. The kids, being the brilliant scientists they are, notice it looks like an egg. Yes, because nothing says normal discovery like finding a random glowing egg in a cave. Hold onto your hats, folks, because Tai Shik, the self-proclaimed time goblin expert, chimes in with a tale straight from his grandpa's bedtime stories. Apparently, there's a cave on full moon nights where time goblins reside. Go in young, come out old. It's like a cosmic retirement home. But surprise, the other kids don't buy into Taishik's fairy tale because, well, they haven't aged a day. Classic time goblin behavior. Now, drama alert. Surin realizes her precious hairpin, a sentimental gift from her late mother, is missing. Like any logical person, she goes back into the cave to look for it, leaving the guys to guard the glowing egg. Guess what? The egg's back in the water, playing hide and seek. Surin, now confused and probably regretting her life choices, comes out to find her friends missing. Did they get tired of guarding an egg and pull a vanishing act? Who knows? In a twist that would make a soap opera jealous, she searches the jungle for her pals, but darkness falls, and she's stuck playing a real-life version of hide and seek with the entire forest. Eventually, she's lost and forced to have a slumber party with the wildlife. Enter Detective An, the head honcho of the police force, assigned to the case of the disappearing teens. They find Surin unconscious in the woods, and miraculously, she's alive and well. But, oh, the detective isn't buying her story about the glowing egg and the disappearing friends. Apparently, mystical caves don't show up on Google Maps. Hold on to your detective hats, because now we're in for a real whodunit. They find a missing boy's body underground on a beach. Cause of death? An asthma attack. Now, who knew a beach could double as a burial ground? The case goes from missing persons to kidnapping faster than a cat chasing a laser pointer. Weeks pass, and the other two boys are still MIA. Without Sung-min, Surin turns into her older introverted self, and here's where it gets even wilder. Surin hears a noise outside her house, follows a mysterious man to the woods, and lo and behold, he claims to be Sung-min. That's right, Sung-min 2.0, now with more confusion and less glow. Surin, being the drama queen she is, runs away crying and spills the beans to Do-kyun, who probably wishes he never moved to the ruler-shaped island. The police get involved, assuming Sung-min 2.0 is the kidnapper. Detective An grills Surin for details, and she reveals that this man is a Sung-min impersonator. So, the detectives, in their Sherlock Holmes fashion, manage to get their mitts on Surin's diary, the sacred text where she and Sung-min spilled their teenage secrets. It's like a treasure trove of awkward confessions and code languages. But wait, surprise, surprise. The diary is basically the Sung-min show. He spilled the beans on everything that happened after Surin dived into the cave for her precious hairpin. Turns out, curiosity didn't just kill the cat, it made Sung-min break the glowing egg without waiting for Surin. And guess what? Empty. Nada. Zilch. Talk about anticlimactic. Then things take a turn for the weird. Surin, the girl of the hour, goes MIA for a while. And when Sung-min finally finds her inside the cave, she's frozen like a popsicle. Not the kind of popsicle you'd enjoy on a hot summer day. He notices water defying gravity, birds frozen mid-flight, and the whole town on pause mode. Turns out time's taken a coffee break, but not for our trio. And what do they do when they realize they're living in a real-life version of Groundhog Day? Well, they go wild, of course. Eat whatever, drink whenever, and play around like the world's their personal playground. It's the ultimate teenage dream. No curfews, no responsibilities, just living their best lives. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. Boredom kicks in, so they decide to ditch the island and hit up another city. Just one tiny problem. The ocean's playing along with this whole time-stopping nonsense. No flowing water means the boat's going down like the Titanic, minus the iceberg. Flash forward to the present, where Surin puts her detective hat on. She realizes the guy in the woods was, in fact, Sung-min. Panic mode activated. She lies to the police, claiming she made the whole man-in-the-woods thing up. Smart move, Surin, because Sung-min would surely win the most likely to be arrested award if the cops caught wind of him. Now let's fast forward through the heartbreak. One of the boys, Jae-wook, succumbs to his asthma because even inhalers hit the pause button in this time-stopped world. Sung-min and Tae-shik, devastated, bury their friend on a nearby beach, and boom. Now he's part of the Frozen Statue Club. Fast forward again. 5 years this time. Our boys are now teens, stealing money like budget Robin Hoods, hoping for a world that's lost its remote control. Spoiler alert, turning 20 doesn't magically hit play on the universe. Reality check, fellas. Hope starts slipping through their fingers like sand, and they move into an abandoned wooden house in the jungle. Because why not embrace the hermit lifestyle? One day, the isolation gets to Sung-min, and he unleashes a scream that echoes through the trees. So, Tae-shik, our resident witness to the emotional roller coaster, loses all hope from afar. Sung-min, on the other hand, notices the moon pulling a shape-shifting act, signaling the world's grand resume button is about to be pressed. But oh no, Tae-shik, our poor soul, has decided to make a grand exit by cliff diving into the unknown. Sung-min, being the determined hero of our tale, goes on a quest to find his disappearing friend. He searches the whole darn island, and what does he find at the last cliff? Tae-shik's clothes. Just as Sung-min takes the plunge, the world decides to hit play. Talk about timing. Our dear Surin, after reading this wild ride of a journal, dashes to the wooden house and finally lays eyes on Sung-min. They're ready to spill the beans to the world, but there's a tiny issue. Will anyone believe their story? Meanwhile, The ever-watchful CCTV footage decides to play detective and spots Sung-min in the woods. The police, being the Sherlock wannabes they are, instantly label him as the kidnapper. Because, you know, who else could be lurking in the woods besides criminals and possibly a few lost squirrels? In a twist that even M. Night Shyamalan would envy, Sung-min seeks emotional support from Soo-rin in the dead of night. He's been alone for so long that he's terrified he might pull a Van Gogh on himself. Talk about a one-man pity party. The next day, Tae-shik's parents swoop in like drama queens, blaming Do-kyun for their kid's disappearance. They're convinced the construction site explosion did their son in, and Soo-rin is spinning tales to save her stepdad. I smell a family feud brewing. Meanwhile, our dynamic duo heads to the orphanage, where Soo-rin spills the beans to the warden. The warden, however, is more shocked than a cat seeing a cucumber. Sung-min spills his childhood secrets, but the warden's not buying it. Tough crowd. Hold on to your sanity, folks, because Do-kyun decides to play the overprotective dad card. He locks Soo-rin in her room at night, but never fear. Sung-min slides in through the back door, superhero style, to set her free. The great escape begins. Soo-rin, being the genius that she is, suggests using the second egg in the cave to fast forward into adulthood and prove Sung-min's innocence. But oh no, Sung-min is all, heck no. I've been a hermit for years. I'd rather be the bad guy than let you go through that. Enter Do-kyun, the overbearing dad, who discovers his daughter is missing. He charges into the wooden house, attacks Sung-min, and tries to drag Soo-rin back home. But Sung-min, in a move worthy of an action movie, knocks him out and runs away with her. The news hits the TV, and the police, in their Sherlock caps, think the kidnapper is manipulating Soo-rin into believing he's Sung-min. It's like a crime thriller, but with fewer car chases and more awkward teenage love. In a dramatic chase scene, Soo-rin, being the hero she thinks she is, turns herself in to save Sung-min, but not before making plans to meet him at the cave. Detective An tries to tell Soo-rin that the person who kidnapped her is not telling the truth, but she doesn't believe him. She pretends she needs to use the bathroom and quickly goes to the cave. So there she is, our hero Soo-rin, clutching the glowing egg like it's the last piece of chocolate in the universe. She shoves it towards Sung-min, who, being the drama king he is, refuses to give it back. Why? Because apparently he's ready to take the blame for a crime he didn't commit. Move over, Shakespeare. We've got a real tragedy in the woods. In a riveting chase through the trees, the police decide to join the drama club and sprint after the dynamic duo. It's like a high-stakes game of tag, but with more potential jail time. They reach the cliff's edge, and the officer, in a moment of brilliance, shoves Soo-rin off the cliff while grabbing Sung-min. Talk about multitasking. Now our detective is left hanging off the cliff like a discount action hero. Sung-min, being the superhero in a tight spot, attempts a rescue mission. But oh no, just before he can pull off his daring feat, they all plummet back. In a twist that could rival any time travel movie, Sung-min smashes the egg and freezes time again. Fast forward a few seconds, Soo-rin wakes up on a beach with the detective. She realizes what Sung-min has just done. For Soo-rin, it's a blink of an eye, but for Sung-min, it's probably been another decade of awkwardly frozen moments. Time travel, not as fun as it sounds. Back home, Soo-rin, feeling all introspective after her time-traveling adventure, apologizes to her dad for the chaos. She even throws in a heartfelt "dad" for good measure. The detective, being the Sherlock Holmes wannabe, swings by to inquire about their miraculous survival. Soo-rin plays it cool, but he's not fooled. He's cracked the case. Now, the grand finale. Soo-rin wraps up her therapy session, leaving the psychiatrist in awe. She's ready to pen down this saga, turning it into the next bestseller. Move over, Harry Potter, we've got time-stopping eggs in town. Fast forward a bit more. Soo-rin is off to a new city for high school, but not without a final meeting with the psychiatrist who hands her the published book. It's like a graduation gift, but with more suspense and fewer hats thrown in the air. As she heads to the ferry, cue the surprise cameo. Sung-min appears like a ghost through her car window. However, when she gets there, he's not around. It's only later on the deck that they have their grand reunion, staring into each other's eyes like it's a Nicholas Sparks novel. The movie fades out, leaving us wondering, did they live happily ever after, or did the egg have more surprises up its glowy sleeve?